Hey everybody, Ryan from True Grit Strength here. Welcome to video 3 of the Max Results video series, where I cover the top 5 reasons why you might not be making progress towards your health and fitness goals. So, in video number 1, we went over how maybe lack of consistency could be the thing that's holding you back from seeing progress. In video number 2, we dug into nutrition and how maybe some of your nutrition habits and choices might be the thing that's holding you back. So if you missed those 2 videos and that stands out to you, go ahead and check those out. And this is video number 3, where we're going to be actually diving into how your workouts can impact whether or not you're seeing progress. So we're really going to be digging into how to make sure that the workouts that you're doing are the right ones for your goals. And if they're not, that could possibly be the thing that's keeping you from seeing progress. So one commonality through all of these videos that I'm really hitting on is the fact that if you have specific goals, meaning you want to add a certain level amount of muscle mass to your frame, you want to lose a certain amount of weight, you want a certain waist size, you have a specific idea of what you want your body composition to be, meaning like less fat, more muscle, all of these types of things. These are all very specific body physique goals. And in order to achieve those goals, we need very specific training programs and very specific protocols that we follow to make sure that we stay on the right track. So everything that we cover in this video and video series is outside the realm of general health and fitness, where we're just trying to be active and feel good and burn some calories and stay active and eat healthy. Those are all great things that you're never going to go wrong with. But the purpose of this video series is to dive into the nitty-gritty details that might be holding you back if you have very specific goals and are not seeing results. So let's dig into workouts and how those could be the things that may be holding you back. So first question that I want to ask you is, if you're not making progress and you're working out consistently, are you doing the right type of training for your body goals? So if your goal is to gain muscle mass, are you following a program that's meant to force that adaptation of forcing you to grow muscle mass? Are you doing a muscle gain style or a bodybuilding style program? If not, and you're doing random workouts, or you're doing HIIT style workouts, or you're doing group fitness, and all of that kind of stuff that's maybe more general health and fitness focus, that's probably why you're not gaining muscle mass. Again, specific adaptations calls for specific training plans. So if that's where you're at, that would be the number one place that I would look. If, for example, you're looking to lose fat, my professional opinion would be to focus on strength training. If you're only doing cardio workouts, for example, that's probably why you're not losing weight. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty details of what exercises to do and what programs to follow and all of that. I'm more just giving general advice of how you can kind of audit your training schedule and audit maybe what you've been doing currently or previously to maybe guide you to the right place of getting you down the right track so that you can start to see progress. Second thing to look into is intensity. Are you working at the right level of intensity? Now, intensity is a hard thing to measure because it's all relative. Out of a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the hardest thing I've ever done that I could possibly do, and 1 being I'm fast asleep, on that scale of 1 to 10, how hard is something? My 8 or my 10 might be very different from your 8 or your 10. So it's all going to be relative, but that's still a good measurement of how intensity applies to your workouts and how you perceive it. So it's a great question to ask yourself after you finish a workout. How hard was that on a scale of 1 to 10? Could I have pushed myself harder? Did I not really try that hard and I was kind of just going through the motions? Obviously, the thing that plays into intensity that we're going to cover in the next video is, how recovered are you? How well did you sleep? How stressed out are you? And those factors are definitely going to play into the intensity that we're able to apply whenever we go to work out. But I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I'm just simply posing the question, are you working out at the right level of intensity, and could you be pushing yourself harder than you are? That probably, if you're kind of showing up to the gym on a regular basis and you're sort of checked out and you're not really applying yourself that hard, that's probably where I would look in terms of maybe why you're not seeing progress. On the flip scale of that, if you're going in and you're completely crushing yourself every single time you work out, and you're working out at such a high level of intensity and you're at that 9 or 10 every single time, that also could be why you're not seeing progress. Maybe you're not recovering properly, so maybe you actually, in that scenario, need to dial back the intensity. So the purpose is just me posing that question so that you can kind of take a personal audit in terms of how hard are you working, and could you be working harder, or do you need to back off a little bit? Tomorrow's video, we're going into more detail in terms of what things to look out for more specifically so that you can maybe better measure those recovery metrics. The reason why intensity is so important is because our bodies are only going to adapt to the stress that we place it under. So if we don't give our bodies a reason to change, they won't change. So if I don't work hard enough, my body has no reason to put on muscle mass because it doesn't have a use for it. If I don't burn enough calories in, then my body has no reason to lose that weight. Okay, so the stress that we place and the intensity that we place are going to send our body those signals that says, okay, I need to adapt to keep up with the demands that I'm placing on it. So that's why intensity and specificity in terms of our training is so important. If I only ever do cardio, then I'm going to get really good at cardio. If I only ever do group fitness classes that are just like getting my heart rate up and getting me really tired, I'm just going to get better at doing that thing. But if I want to get stronger, I need to lift heavier weights over time. If I want to put on muscle mass, I need to accumulate progress and volume, whether it be in reps and sets or in weight, week over week, so that my body has a reason to grow. Specificity is important in terms of our training because that's what signals our body to change in whatever direction we're hoping to make progress in. Another area to look at too is previous injuries or health history or level of experience. So if you're a beginner and you don't have a lot of training knowledge, and so if you're doing a program that's highly advanced but you're a beginner, that's probably why you're not seeing progress, is maybe the skill level does not match where you're currently at, and so you're not able to really apply yourself to the right intensity, and you're not able to do a lot of the exercises well enough to force that adaptation. So finding a program or workouts that are suitable to your current training style or training level is really important. If I have injuries that keep me from doing certain exercises, but every workout that I do or every program, the program that I'm following has all these exercises in it, and I'm just missing out on all of those things, that's a problem because that's missed opportunities for training. So that's kind of where that's where having a coach possibly can come in and really help you to make sure that, okay, if I have this program that has back squats in it, but I can't back squat, what can I do instead? And so that's where having a custom program can be really helpful, or having a coach guide you through the right training protocol can really help you just at least make sure that you're getting on the right track. Can be really life-changing. So I'll touch on more on that in a minute. But, making sure that if you have certain injuries, that you're able to replace those exercises that you don't feel comfortable with, or you can't, movements that you can't do, with something else so that you at least still get some work in. The other area to look at is frequency. So does your current schedule allow you to work out with enough frequency? So if you're only hitting up group fitness classes twice a week, and that's the only workouts that you get the whole time, again, for general health and wellness, that's probably okay, and that's obviously better than nothing. But if you have specific idea and very specific goals, you need to make sure that the frequency that you're coming to the gym or that you're working out matches those goals. So in one of my previous videos, I mentioned an example because it's one that I see very commonly, which is somebody comes to me with a very lofty weight loss goal. Let's say they want to lose like 20 pounds. And then when I ask them how much time they can commit to losing that weight, they say maybe once or twice a week. And then I have to have a very honest conversation with them to let them know that that's not going to be enough frequency to be able to lose that weight in a meaningful period of time. So making sure that the frequency that you're working out matches your realistic expectations of what you're expecting in terms of results. Okay, so that's another area that you can kind of audit to make sure that you're working out enough days of the week. And again, this kind of also matches with intensity. Like if I'm going at level 10 and I'm working out 7 days a week, maybe I actually need to back off a little bit and go down to 5. If I'm only working out once or twice and I'm not seeing results, maybe it's time to add an extra day. Okay, so that's kind of like another area that you can look at is frequency. So in terms of finding the right exercises and workouts for your skill level and your body type and your previous health and injury history, what we're really looking for here is exercises that you feel confident in, that you can do well, that you can scale over time and work to get better or stronger at. So that's kind of like, I don't mean to have this video focused around group fitness, but it is kind of a thing that comes up a lot and that I feel pretty strongly about, is people who have very specific goals but do general style training. And the thing with group fitness is that those workouts are are aimed towards general goals. Okay, so they're having people from all different backgrounds, all different ability levels together in the same room for a very short period of time who are trying to just make sure that everybody gets a good workout in. It's not possible in that time to really dive into each individual person's needs and skill levels and make sure that everybody's working at the right level of intensity and that everybody's like getting amazing experience out of it. It's just very, very difficult. So again, what you're looking at here is finding exercises and workouts that you can do at least some of the time that allow you to do exercises that you feel confident and you can do well, and that you can make sure that you're progressing over time. With group fitness, it's easy to just show up and check out and do the work and go home, and that's great for some of the time. But there also needs to be training sessions that you have sometimes where you're focused on a specific skill or focused on building strength in a certain exercise. You're focusing on form, and you're focusing on things that you can do well, that you can look back and say, last week I was only able to do a certain amount of weight in the goblet squat, and this week I can do this much more weight in the goblet squat, and now I know and I have actual markers that I'm making progress over time. So if that's not something that you can currently say about your current workout plan or your current workouts, then that's why following a program that's more specific to your goals can drastically change and get you to see progress in your workouts. The other thing to look at is because I'm saying that you need specific training protocols and plans for things like fat loss, muscle gain, and performance-related goals, does not mean that it needs to be complicated. So you can still have very simple training style and a very simple training plan that can be highly effective because it's very targeted towards a specific goal. So I don't mean any of this to make it seem like you have to add all these complicated factors into your training. It just means that it's more specific to you and your goals. So when you go out, how do you find a program? So let's get into action steps here. So if you feel like maybe this is the thing that's like standing out towards you and you're like, yeah, I've been doing these random workouts on Instagram or YouTube and I need a plan that's actually right for me, where do you go? So there's two different ways that you could go. There's plenty of pre-written, like pre-built programs that you can buy online from different coaches, myself included, that are already written and that are specific towards goals, like a program for muscle gain, for example, that you can download that will have all your training laid out and all you have to do is follow the plan. That can be a really great option. I personally feel like pre-built programs and pre-designed programs like that can help you save a little bit of money because they tend to be cheaper. They're easily accessible and easy to follow. The downside to that is that it doesn't allow you to take into account anything that's specifically related to you and your training history or abilities. So if you have a specific injury, it might be really hard for you to download a generic program because there might be exercises in there that you can't do, and then you're kind of left in the dark to try and figure out what you can do instead, and it might not be the right thing. So that's where having a custom program can be beneficial. So if you don't have any injuries and you feel pretty confident in your movement abilities, I think general programming and finding a program online or from a coach that's already pre-built can be a great option for you. However, if you have more specific training background and you have some more specific needs in terms of previous injuries or things that you need to work around, I think custom programming is the way to go. All right, so action steps A. So we're going to do a personal audit here. So are your workouts right for your goals? Are you working out at the right level of intensity and frequency? Are you following a program or are you doing random workouts? So if any of those things feel true to you, try to decide whether maybe it's better for you to do a custom program or a pre-built program online. So again, there's tons of resources online. I offer both options. I offer pre-built programs and I also offer customized programs. That's my most popular option because that's the route that most people want to go in terms of making sure that am I on the right track to actually reach my goals, and I want to make sure that my program is going to be completely right for me. So check out my custom coaching links are in the description below this video. I also offer free assessments. So if you're not sure and you want to just have a coach look at what you've been doing and tell you whether or not you're on the right track, I can do that for you for free. So I offer free assessments where I look over clients' training history, injury history, their goals, and what they're looking to accomplish and what they're previously been doing so that we can kind of course correct and make sure that you at least get on the right track. That assessment is completely free to you. If you like what you learn from our assessment and you want to sign up for coaching, that's great. If not, there's no obligation there. I just want to make sure that people are on the right track and they're not wasting time and spinning wheels, because I know personally how frustrating that can be to be working your ass off and putting in the effort and the time and then not really seeing the results. Okay, so I want everybody to avoid that. So if you'd like to schedule a free assessment, the link is also in the description below. All right, so stay tuned for tomorrow's video where we're going to dive into sleep and recovery. So how maybe sleep and your recovery and your stress levels could be holding you back from seeing progress in your workouts. All right, so stay tuned for that video number 4 tomorrow. All right, have a great day.